listening to Sidewalk Confessionals. My name is Jeremy.
My name is Dylan.
I think my name's Hunter, but I'm honestly not sure right now.
How are you guys today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm great.
A little giddy, yeah.
A little giddy?
My finger hurts.
Why, how?
I cut it on the hinge to its last door.
Okay, yeah.
Very specific. I like it.
I was wiping it with Windex and the hinge was unbelievably sharp.
Okay, so guys, today we're going to talk about hobbies. I think, yeah, we all have hobbies.
A lot of us have the same hobbies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, we're not going to talk about hobbies yet because this is telling me that I have to introduce you. I have to introduce you guys.
That'd probably be good. They've never met us.
Yeah, they've never met you guys. How long have you two known each other? Because you guys are old. You guys have known each other.
We're fucking
ancient. You guys have known each other longer than I've known either of you.
6th grade, I think. 5th?
Somewhere around there, like 12.
I shot him in the eye with a BB gun. That's how we met.
Yeah, that was a good story. 12 years.
12 years?
12 years of pain.
I'd say 13, but yeah.
He shot me with a BB gun.
Right in the eye.
He shot a stranger.
From like 200 feet. Like, it was a good shot.
He shot a stranger with a BB gun.
You weren't wearing a mask.
Well, I didn't know I needed to. I was a stranger.
We were at you were fighting Marvin and Mike from across. There was like a yard in the middle, and then there was Dylan's yard, and then they were their yard, and they were shooting over the neighbor's yard at each other. And I went over there with my airsoft gun and popped Dylan right in the eye.
I had built like a barricade against my fence line with like pallets.
Yeah.
And was like peeking over. And we were like shooting across this person's yard, like that was the middle ground, like the trenches, like trench warfare.
Like the no man's land?
Yeah, exactly. That yard was no man's land.
Except it was crazy bird lady.
Yeah, it was crazy bird lady. I'm glad she didn't walk outside.
Get caught in the crossfire. God damn it. I've known, oh God. How long have I known Hunter? Since 8th grade, yeah. And then I've known Dylan.
Well, I met you the summer right before 8th grade, but we didn't become friends until Ethan's party like 2 months into 8th grade.
Yeah. Oh God!
When I tripped Bobbert and knocked him on.
That's right. God damn it, Bobbert. And then I met Dylan like a year later, so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that summer when he came to stay with me.
That was when you were still chubby.
Yeah. Fuck you.
We were all chubby, so I mean,
I'm still chubby. I wasn't a hit. I was just saying.
I'm slightly pudgy. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're gonna start this off with downtime. Dylan, we'll start with you. What's your definition of downtime?
Downtime is like anything that you can do outside of your normal schedule, like work or school, whatever it is that you do. So anything that you do to fill time outside to relieve stress or just to buy time, really, I think is what downtime is to me.
All right.
Hunter?
I just keep thinking of D&D from like the Dungeon Master standpoint. All I read about downtime is the phrase for use between campaigns on how to fill the extra time.
You roll dice.
Downtime to me is in both sense Dungeon Master term and my life is just rolling dice because my downtime is mostly spent creating stuff for the D&D campaign.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah. I think I kind of agree with Dylan on that one. It's just like it's however you can fit like time to yourself within your normal day-to-day schedule. Yeah, it's you time. So how do you guys like to spend your downtime?
I play video games a lot. I have various projects that I get into.
Planning the farm and brewing mead.
Yeah, I mean, those are two of the things that have been happening more recently that take up a lot of my time.
Getting stung by bees.
A lot of bees. There's a lot of bee stings. But that's good. That's good.
For those of you who don't know, he's a beekeeper.
Well, yeah, I'm a beekeeper. Hi, I'm Dylan.
This is my first time here.
Yeah.
And as I said, most of my downtime is pretty much creating things for 2 different D&D worlds that I'm building slowly at the same time. And then what's not doing that is watching like Cutthroat Kitchen and stuff with Kate.
Yeah, he watches a lot of Cutthroat Kitchen.
Really
Cutthroat Kitchen is lit. They always forget the eggs. I'm so angry. Every time they have to make a breakfast item, someone forgets the fucking eggs.
He always gets hung up on the breakfast item. Like every time he talks about Cutthroat Kitchen.
How is there a breakfast item how do you make a breakfast burrito without eggs? What makes it a breakfast burrito at that point?
I mean, eggs are the only defining factor because every other ingredient can just be in a regular burrito.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like there was like 3 other episodes.
We're derailing in towards food right now.
Really are.
There were like 3 other episodes that had to do with breakfast items that they just kept forgetting the fucking eggs. One of them was an egg sandwich, and someone forgot the eggs.
Are we allowed to, like, are there rules to this? Are we allowed to curse and stuff like that?
Have you not listened to this podcast before?
Okay, I was just making sure that I wasn't doing anything wrong.
No, so I'm gonna put the video. I'm gonna put the video. So this is the first one. I forgot to say in the beginning. This is the first one that's on YouTube. Hi guys, there's a camera over there.
Hey.
You are live from my room.
Literally when I'm not like working. Well, I don't work right now, like the people on the podcast know.
He's a no life.
Yeah, I don't currently have a job, but if I did have a job, most of my downtime would be spent like researching, like, you know, techniques like videography, photography techniques, podcasting techniques, all that kind of stuff. I tend to get myself into a lot of things, so like,
But not completing any of them.
but not completing any
Yeah,
of them.
I'm the same way.
Or like when we lived in the same city and our downtime were things like creating the arc rifle.
Dylan, so what are some of your hobbies? Like 2 or 3, 4, maybe 2 to 4. 2 to 4.
2 to 4. Okay. Hobbies. Probably the thing that I do the most outside of work or school or other things like that. I play a lot of video games, and Hunter does too. But yeah, I mean, that's something that I can quickly get into that helps me relieve stress, you know, whether it's a single player game that gets me into a storytelling mood or like learning something, like a lot of the new games have actual facts in them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like multiplayer where I can just destroy noobs and newbies.
Or Assassin's Creed, which is also a learning experience about history.
If you listen to my first part, I said story mode.
I know.
Single player.
I know, but
That's had facts in them. You never listen.
I don't.
But yeah, that's probably one of my number one things. Other than that, we're all in the same D&D group. Hunter here is our DM.
Hunter is an excellent DM.
He is a number one DM. You should contact him and tell him to DM your group too. That way he never has any time.
I'll do it. I have no self-control.
So that's another thing that we do. I am starting a farm and I'm a beekeeper, so I do both of those. I think those would be hobbies because I'm not making money from either one of them yet.
Hobbies at this point.
Yeah, so hopefully both of those turn into a career, but we'll see.
He has a bomb-ass emblem or logo, whatever. What do you call it?
It's a logo. Yeah, it's a logo.
I don't know the difference.
I don't know the difference either, but I'm called a logo.
He actually has like one of those little pop holder things on his phone with his logo
Well, that
on
was
it.
on my old phone. I still have my case somewhere. I need to find it. But yeah, I did have one of those pop sockets that had an emblem on it. Yeah, it was stupid. And I also have just gotten recently into making mead. So I am making my first batch right now.
It's awesome.
It's like a weekend. It's doing fun stuff. Hasn't blown up yet, so that's important.
Yeah, bubbling away.
Bubbling away. Yeah. So, yeah, just like that. All right, Hunter, what are some of your hobbies? 2 to 4.
Well, I would put D&D into 2 of my hobbies.
I think that's underestimating.
Yeah, probably. We do 4
Like, if he's not at work, he's doing something for
We do
D&D.
4 to 5 hour sessions. Usually once a week. Yeah, the last one was 5.5 hours to 6 hours. 5.5 excluding the break. So I will. There's my entire Saturday. My Saturday I work at 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I told my boss that I played D&D on Saturday and I have to leave early for
He
that.
weaseled out of going to work until 8 on
he's just like,
Saturdays.
yeah, that's fine. So I leave at 6. I get home and by 6:30 we've started our campaign, and then 5 hours after that we finish up, and then I go to bed and I go to work the next day. So my entire Saturday is work and D&D, and then throughout the week I probably spend 10 to 20 hours, depending on how much work needs to be done before the next session, planning the world.
Job.
Yeah, it's planning the whole world for those next sessions to make sure it's as engaging and real to the players as possible. When I'm not doing that, I'm either playing PS4 with Dylan here, which usually the only time I'm actually on PS4 is if Dylan's playing. Because other than that, Katie takes the controller and likes to play Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, you did that to her, though.
I did. She
That
loves
was your
it.
fault.
I enjoy watching, so it's okay.
Katie's his girlfriend, by the way.
And then, I mean, there are a lot of other hobbies that I have that I just don't have the time to get into because of D&D or separation from these two guys
Well, that's
here.
actually a further question, if you would read the script.
Like we used to play a lot of airsoft and stuff like that, and I like to get back into that.
There's
Airsoft
just
or paintball,
no fields nearby anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we have one here. We have one here in Jacksonville.
Yeah. It's pretty much either D&D, video games, or watching Disney movies with Katie.
That makes you like the world's biggest nerd.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Jeremy, back to you.
Yeah, back to me. Hobbies. Like I said, I have tons of hobbies. Like I just get into like tons of stuff all at the same time. My main
2 to 4 that you actively are engaged in right now.
My main hobbies right now, the biggest one is the podcast.
Right.
And anyone who's watching on YouTube right now will know that this is the first one right this second. This is the first one.
We're live, but not live.
We're live, but not live.
We're alive.
Magic of the magic of the internet. We are so this is the first one that has video, so that's gonna take like more time editing, all kinds of stuff like that, more time with setup.
I don't know why he decided to do the first one when he visited out of his home territory, but
because you guys are awesome and my studio is really boring to look at.
I mean, mine is very messy.
Yeah,
it's not a studio, it's just my office.
If they could hear you through the helmet, I really wanted you to wear the stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah, we tried wearing things before on video.
I know they won't be able to hear you through it, so
Caleb was like, "No, you can't. We can't hear you. Just take the mask off." That's how he sounds in all the podcasts. You guys can agree with me.
All I hear is when Caleb.
God damn. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm just making a joke and jumping on the bandwagon. Dylan's the real asshole.
Oh, I was just kidding. We love you.
Yeah, so my biggest hobby right now is definitely the podcast. Another one of mine is photography. Mm-hmm. I actually got into this whole world of like creative stuff with like electronic devices, the internet, whatever, through photography. Mm-hmm. So that was like my first foray into like creating anything kind of artistic.
Right. Not autistic, artistic.
Artistic. Yeah, artistic.
It's important to know the difference.
With an R.
I made that mistake. I'm just kidding.
And demonetized.
Lost all 3 sponsors.
Yep, all 3. Wow. No, we have no sponsors. Please sponsor us.
You have 3, actually. Because me, Caleb, and Dylan will sponsor as soon as the video is uploaded. But you lose all 3 of them for that joke.
Ah, damn it. It wasn't even my joke. I don't know. Another one. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say I'm going to make a comment where I'm only going to continue being a sponsor as long as Dylan's never showed in a video again because of the joke.
Wow. All right. Yeah, the other big one is climbing. I am actually working on writing another podcast on climbing, and I think I might do a video on like introductory climbing, like intro to all the equipment and stuff like that.
You want to climb the app, don't you?
The what?
The app trail.
I want to climb the app trail.
Climb the entire.
Well, I mean, part of it there are climbing parts.
I do want to
climbing.
I'm sorry, not climb, hike. He wants to hike it.
I do want to hike. I do want to hike the.
I like Ike. We're back in the 50s. Vote Ike. Or 40s, 50s.
Know your timeline.
50s.
Just wait till Assassin's Creed gets there. It'll be there eventually.
They said they'd never do that time period because it's too controversial and too dark.
Okay, continue.
That was a tangent and a half.
We went through like 7 topics there real quick.
But yeah, climbing. I am currently working on writing another podcast episode talking about just like maybe one type of climbing, or I might actually get some facts together and talk about how climbing is working in the Olympics and all of that stuff, because they have like a weird mixed format climbing thing that it's fucking weird.
So you're gonna do one talking about what they're doing there, or like?
Yeah, kinda. I don't know. I'm still writing the episode.
You're getting a sneak peek here on Sidewalk Confessionals episode
14.
76. Just a lot of them were deleted because they were terrible.
We were the cause of every single one of them.
Oh my god.
This is our 37th take of this episode, if you didn't know.
We've been here for hours.
We've been here for 7 days. Oh my god. How important are your hobbies to you?
They're pretty important to me. I would have to say that if I didn't have the current things that I do, like video games or D&D to relieve stress, that I would probably be a lot more depressed than I am now. But I mean, it's just a way to quickly relieve stress. Like when I get off at work, I come home and I'll play some video games before bed, and that's just something to quickly get me off like my mind off of what I've been doing that day and the
Yeah.
crap that I've had to deal with. So, I mean, if I didn't have those, it would be probably a pretty shitty life. So I'd say they're pretty important. Hunter.
For me, the reason why D&D is such a big part, because it helps me a lot with my anxiety, because falling back on, for instance, the campaign that you two are in, falling back onto that, and the reason why I spent so much time into it is, one, to give you guys a really great experience, because seeing my players happy makes me happy, but also because it's a world and a story, a world and story that I have almost utter control over. And the lore of it is of my design. It comes from my head. It not only gives me a chance to express free thought and everything like that and design and stuff, but it also gives me something that, at least during the creation part of it, there's not going to be stress or unexpectedness. It's something that I have control over. It brings...
It's like a metaphor for your life.
Exactly. It allows me to have more of an influence and feel like, okay, if I can control this, then not having control over other things in life isn't so bad, because I have this world that I can go back to, and then I can always write in, and that I can come up, like I actually have like the outline for a few short stories in this world that you guys are playing in, from other people that you guys are going to meet, other NPCs that I've completed.
You don't know we're going to meet them.
Short stories. You will meet them. Short, like short. Even if you don't meet them, though, there's other NPCs that I got kind of attached to, and I wrote short stories about their life. Just sort of a fun thing, and that act of creation and almost that act of control helps dial down when I'm feeling really anxious from either work or specifically right now family and stuff like that. Yeah. That control allows me to calm my anxiety, because it's something that I do have utter control over. Right. Until the session happens.
Right.
And then the players take it completely where I don't want it to go. But it's awesome, because it's always unexpected.
Kobolds are improvised weapons.
Kobolds are exactly. No, but the unexpectedness of D&D and the collaborative storytelling is something that really helps me specifically with depression, just because it's telling a story with your friends. It's just everyone, in this case, sitting around a digital table, usually a regular table, but telling the story with your friends. It's an act of engagement that is more felt than done, and it's something that's really important to me.
Nice. I like that answer.
Yeah, that was very deep.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I felt it in my heart. My heart of hearts.
Your Eldonari.
Yeah. Your Eldonari. Yeah. My hobbies are extremely important to me. If I didn't have, like...
What would you have?
Like Hunter and Dylan said, it's just it's like a creative outlet. It's like, it's super... what's the word I'm looking for? Therapeutic. There's actually a word for it. I'll think of it.
Like 7 years from now, he'll come back to it. He's like, oh, that's the word.
Opposite of repressive.
Yeah.
Oppressive.
No, see, now you're confusing with current events.
Oh, wow. And demonetized.
Hey, I didn't say which side. It's the...
And there goes the other one.
But yeah, if I didn't have like a creative outlet or something like that, I would, I think all of us kind of struggle with depression and anxiety, and that's just a lot of
big issue.
It's a lot of people.
Society.
Yeah,
It's almost like if you don't pay people enough to live, that societal depression starts breaking out.
Yeah.
And they share it amongst each other because everybody's in the same boat.
Like
Right.
It's a direct correlation.
And this is the part of the story where everything goes dark.
But yeah, I would kind of succumb to all of that if I just didn't have a way to express creatively. My mind is always racing on like creative ideas too, and if I just didn't have a way to like actually make those things exist in like real life, like tactile things, I would,
Like I spent 20 hours this week thinking of a secret society.
I'm actually thinking of a secret society for my book. Did you listen to the episode where I read the first chapter?
I did listen to that episode, and then when we talked about it, I went back and re-listened to it because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Secret Society.
I have actually I was supposed to be preparing for another session a couple weeks ago. It was actually one of your sessions with
Like the first one?
yeah, it was you and Gabe still playing when you were still playing as Onyx.
He's still there.
One of the sessions had me stuttering a lot, solely because I had nothing planned for it. Because I started writing about an NPC, you guys probably won't meet for like another 10 levels, like really fucking far in the future. And he was and I wanted him to be connected to something else, something that you'd have the chance to interact with if you guys wanted to go down that path. And I spent, I kid you not, 22 hours going in depth into this organization that I honestly doubt you guys will ever have anything to do with.
You don't know that. You don't know that for sure.
I have 5 pages in my notebook, handwritten.
22 hours only got you 5 pages?
Yeah, because I also had stuff on OneNote. I have like charts and stuff. But I have 5 pages of breaking down about this organization into my notebook, and I honestly don't think that you guys that's ever going to become important enough for you guys to even access that information. But I have a bunch of things throughout the world like that.
Well, there you go.
Nice. Do you think it's important for everyone to have a hobby?
Yeah, like we've been mentioning so far, I think that it's a definite like stress reliever. Yeah. And in a day and age where there's just so much stress built up through mediocre jobs and mediocre relationships and just everything in life that just constantly battering you down, these things are, I think they actually are meant to, like the companies that come out with all these different hobbies and stuff like that, or the companies that lead these hobbies, definitely know that that's why people get into it, and so they kind of play on that, and they just know that
it's just good marketing.
It's just good marketing that they're doing to make sure that people continue to do them because they know that it's such a big deal. Otherwise, everybody would just be going shooting themselves. Not that I'm advertising for that. Don't do that.
No, but yeah, it's very important for everyone to have hobbies. Like you guys were, like Dylan was saying, it's a means of escape, and especially in today's world and our political climate. I'm not going into politics, but we are talking about hobbies and how they are an escape. And for me, at least, with how dark things have been getting, my hobbies are ever more important because as much as I want to, I can't change the state that the horrible state that some people are living in, but I can have that effect.
I mean, you are changing the state that people are living in. I mean, like Brian and everybody are saying, like
a small number of people.
Yeah, and remember, every one person you can help is still one more person you're helping.
Yeah, it's a small impact makes waves.
But yeah, I think
trademarked.
And for those of you that are interested or thinking about being interested in D&D, I highly recommend it. It is D&D Pathfinder, whatever you want to do. If you have friends that are interested, I am actually. But yeah, I'm holding a Dungeon Master Workshop in Boone.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have a lot of...
I don't know why he didn't mention that on his hobby list.
I should have mentioned that, but yeah, I'm currently planning a Dungeon Master Workshop to help other aspiring DMs specifically that I've been helping. But it's
Are you gonna be charging for that?
No.
Wow.
We're gonna be...
I would do it free for a little while until like you...
I mean, if it gets big enough and I have to rent a place, then yeah, I'll charge just to offset it. But really, introducing people into something that allows them to escape, I feel, since I have the ability to do so, and I've been doing it a lot, I've got a lot of people into, specifically 5e D&D over the past couple years, being able to show them there is a way to escape, to feel better, at least for a short period of time, and to make those joint storytelling, it's my responsibility to do so if I can, because it is really therapeutic to have that storytelling moment with your friends.
Walls in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Therapeutic.
And also on the thing with like the dark climate, sometimes it's harder to do so in the real world, but in D&D, if you see something going wrong as an adventurer with the power that you hold, you can stop it.
Or you can walk away and let that bear get yeeted across the room.
Yeah, exactly. That just like happened. Or you can just go up and stab the offender right in the face, which is a really therapeutic act in and of itself.
Not in real life.
I mean, it could be, but it's also not a good thing.
It is illegal to stab someone in the face, regardless of if it's justified.
Demonetized.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone needs to have some kind of outlet, and hobbies they're just like,
if you don't have one, you should get into it, whether it's an outdoor sport like the traditional ones or like archery or anything like that, or you could do indoor stuff like D&D or video games, which I mean,
I highly recommend archery as well.
Archery's good. Archery's good.
Yeah.
You could get into crafting, like craftsmanship, different things, woodworking, metalworking.
Yeah.
You
could do things like with resin casting and
remember, if you don't have the money for a forge, Jeremy here does a lot of heat smith. He likes to smith actually using the forge and stuff like that, which is great. But you can also, a lot of people don't realize this, there are certain things that you can craft metal wise, replication wise, without heat. I do
with very little heat with like
Yeah.
a $10 propane torch.
Yeah, I do a lot of I used to do a lot of goldsmithing. I want to get back into it. I still have the anvil I stole from you.
Yeah,
The
I know.
railroad tie.
The
Yeah.
railroad try.
Yeah, it's an anvil. But
Partially flattened on top.
but yeah,
Kind of that shape.
that grinder almost killed you.
That's a story for
tried
another
to-
time.
yeah,
No, that
another time,
yeah,
another
we'll
time.
I'll tell that at the end. Actually, that'll be my something random.
Okay.
I don't know what my something random is going to be.
Oh my god. Yeah. What are some of your? Yeah, we have time. What are some of your interests, like other than your hobbies?
Interest being like things that I'm interested in getting into.
Not interested in like getting into, but just like I don't know, like things that you like. Things that you like to like read about or research or anything like that that isn't like one of your hobbies. I mean,
Or if it's related.
obviously, yeah. If it's related, then that works too.
I watch a good amount of YouTube. I mean, YouTube is the place to be if you want to learn how to do anything.
That's very true.
Like everything that I know how to do, I've learned from YouTube because school is not the only option. Demonetized. So I watched a lot of YouTube on like farming.
Universities are gonna strip you of everything you own.
They really are. They really are.
Dare you steal their money?
Right, because they need any more. I watch a lot of YouTube on like how to grow different things because I'm really interested in
Sustainable living.
sustainable living, really, because I think that if we don't do it, then
Literally our only option at this point.
really only our only option. So I think all
Not
of
our
you.
only option, but
Well,
community gardens or neighborhood sharing, either option.
sustainable living.
It's sustainable living, but I'm just saying that if
Really, the only thing that's not sustainable living is the current.
if you are friends with your neighbors, convince everyone to all get vegetable or fruit gardens, and then just
You don't need a
everyone
whole lot of room. If you look up urban farming, you can literally use your front yard, and even if you don't use it all, there's people making hundreds of thousands of dollars on a couple thousand square feet of farmable land.
Yeah.
So
And if you don't have that, you grow carrots, your neighbor grows potatoes, and now everyone in the neighborhood has both carrots
Socialism.
and potatoes. Socialism is not a bad word.
I mean, sometimes it is, but
And not in this context.
and not in this way. But
It's just like
government has.
it's just like psychology. Anything can be disordered behavior under the right circumstances.
Right.
So yeah. What are some of your interests other than your hobbies, or are they kind of just hand in hand?
For the most part, hand in hand. A lot of, if I'm not actively doing any of those hobbies that we just talked about, usually I'm listening to audiobooks as I'm cleaning.
because
or
he
doing
doesn't
other
read
things.
himself. He's a plebe.
I get migraines because I don't have proper glasses.
I don't either. I just have the cheap glasses that they got me for in the army.
But I listen to a lot of audiobooks, a lot of fantasy, which helps me create that world that you guys are currently enjoying. Specifically, Christopher Paolini's works. I'm actually about to start his sci-fi novels, and I'm really excited for that.
I didn't know he wrote other books.
Yeah, he has a sci-fi series and he has a collection of short stories. I've read some of the short stories, and he's about to release he's about to release a fifth book, which is a collection of short stories, 1 year after the inheritance cycle, and he's also releasing a special edition Barnes and Noble only Aragon.
Are you like their promoter right now or something?
No, I'm just saying that.
monetized.
Yeah, exactly. Which has 35 extra pages. So if anyone's really likes the inheritance cycle,
It's for Aragon directly.
Aragon
that book.
directly. Yeah, it's the first book.
35 extra pages
Aragon
of that
specifically about Murtag. So if anyone, I know Jeremy here loves Murtag.
Like on a personal level, or
Possibly.
The new Barnes and Noble edition of the book has 35 extra pages that were originally taken out of the book that he has put back in from Murtag's point of view
Oh, cool.
about his story specifically, and I'm really excited for that.
yeah, because you can wrap it up in 35 pages.
Well,
I get a little bit more info. You get a little bit more info.
How do you know? Have you read it already?
No.
Exactly. You don't know.
35 more pages. I still feel like it's more info.
He could use the same word constantly.
I don't know if you know this, but everyone just uses the same words over and over again. There are a finite amount of words.
People make new words every day.
Yeet.
I think another thing that interests both of us, I don't know if you've gotten into it, but like ancestry and where we come from and
a
embracing
little bit, but I'm not.
ancestry.
Yeah.
I'm white, and I just did 23andMe, so I'm normal.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
I don't know. Have you seen the memes
It
going
didn't even
around?
give him it didn't even give him his ancestry. It came back and it said white as hell.
No, have you seen the memes? It was like white people love making fun of people from, or love dissing immigrants, but then they also love doing 23andMe things to
Right.
figure out where they immigrated from.
Yeah. That's so silly.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like my family is from like the Scandinavian area and
Wales.
and Wales. I have family from Wales. Yeah, so like I'm interested in the Viking era right now. I've been both watching the show and doing research on it, and Hunter here also, you know, he's a heathen, so
It's true. I am in fact a heathen.
Yeah.
I'm wearing actually my representation of it. I have Hugin and Moonin on this finger, and then I have all the runes in order.
all of them. There's a finite amount of them, and he has all of them.
Dylan, there's very few runes.
I'm just
It's a very old language. They didn't have that many options.
they made their own options, Hunter. It's not like they had to. Well, that's all of them.
All right.
Hunter or Jeremy, what about you?
Interests. Oh, my interests just go hand in hand with my hobbies. There's not really much that I'm like interested in.
Well, you look into like medical and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
for the entire time I've known you, you've been reading the Grey's Anatomy. Like you'll just open it up.
I am halfway through Grey's Anatomy right now.
The original book, not
Not the really fucking terrible show. Grey's Anatomy, written by Dr. Gray, Henry Gray, I believe, about actual human anatomy. It's an absolutely amazing read if you're into medicine and stuff like that. I would recommend getting the Barnes & Noble illustrated version because it's
At the same
beautiful.
time he got that, I got the Barnes & Noble Illustrated Art of War, and I was challenging Katie's cousin, and he was talking about all these new books he's reading and the things he's into. So I lent him my copy, and the next time I see him, I'm gonna quiz him on it because everyone in Katie's family is like, he's not actually reading it, so I'm gonna fucking test him in front of everyone.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
What a great guy.
yeah, like Dylan said, medicine. That's really the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm interested in that isn't actually
Like related.
turning into a hobby or something like that.
Well, you do a lot of electric work.
But I actually do that.
Well, yeah, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah, it's hard.
I turn a lot of my interests...
You're very good at.
Wars, I guess, for me and I sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Wow, no, it's okay. Go ahead. You obviously wanted to talk.
It just outbursts.
You just got to get it out, otherwise it never will.
And I'll forget it almost 5 seconds later.
I've already forgotten what I was going to say.
Jesus Christ.
But an interest that's not an actual hobby of me would be war strategies, specifically.
Planning on going to war.
Yeah, no, as a hobby of mine, global domination. But pre 20th century war strategies would be a really big interest of mine, specifically pre 16th century, before gunpowder started having a really heavy influence on
Gunpowder
things.
ruined everything. It's not fair anymore.
It did. It thoroughly changed the war. And also how
The war. There was only one the entire time.
it's just
It's continuous, yeah.
it's the continuous war of artificial borders.
It's just man against man, man.
Man.
Lions and
Yeah.
stuff involved.
No, but specifically Hannibal of Carthage is a really big. I love reading anything about his strategies. And if anyone knows, Hannibal of Carthage is not a cannibal. Yeah, despite Hannibal Lecter.
I heard he ate a hand one time.
He single-handedly brought the largest empire of the time, one of the largest empires of all time, to its hands and knees with a fraction of the same men through brilliant strategy.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, that's...
And then he was destroyed by politicians of his own nation, which is another reason.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Which is another reason why I hate
That
politicians.
actually set the precedent. No, I'm kidding.
Politicians killed my man Hannibal, so now I hate all politicians.
Damn.
All right. What's like a hobby or activity that you want to get into?
Sword fighting.
Really?
Yeah, no, for real.
I'm totally on board with
Me and Hunter have talked about it
We
actually.
were talking about it when I moved back to Wilmington. We're gonna get
Actually, like
sparring
axe fighting.
gear.
I want to get
Yeah, so we're
going back to the Viking Age
going
stuff.
back to the Viking Age stuff. Yeah, we're gonna get
More Vikings.
we were gonna get full sparring gear and get back into it because I really miss doing martial arts.
Actually, just beating the shit out of each other. That's what I miss.
Yeah, remember when we were sparring with the bamboo without any sparring gear, and we would every single day would have bruises everywhere.
And eventually, we broke the bamboo on each other.
Jesus.
I don't know if you know how much dried bamboo can hurt. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost like they make sparring gear with those.
Yeah, kendo sticks.
Kendo 6, yep. So sword fighting.
Yeah, or just really just any old age combat. Yeah.
Anything not using guns. Guns are lazy.
I mean, I also like to shoot guns.
Yeah,
I enjoy shooting guns. However, you cannot spar with guns. I guess it's the airsoft is.
Or
but
you can do like sim rounds.
sim rounds are not games.
Those are games.
Both of us have been shot with sim rounds. It's not a game.
It's a game.
It's not a game.
You may not.
It was not a fun game.
Hey, it's a game you don't want to lose, right?
That's valid. It's a very big risk reward scenario. Weigh your pros and cons. Hurt friend. Get hurt by friend.
But I also want to get into like prepping and stuff like that. Not hard like doomsday prepping, but casual prepping.
Yeah. Back to non.
Talking about you casual preppers.
Back to non-lethal rounds though. I'd much rather get hit by a sim round again than pepper sprayed because that.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I'd
terrible.
rather be tased than pepper sprayed.
Absolutely.
Tasing is immediate. Pepper spray's forever.
I got tased like 7 times by him in like a 3-week period. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I built up a tolerance.
Yeah.
My heart's okay with it now.
Plus, I used to when I was. My mom told me that when I was young, I used to take a fork, run over to the outlet, and shove it in the outlet because I like the.
That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah. And then I would get shocked, fall down, and start laughing.
Jesus Christ. That explains.
Are you sure you're human?
So much.
I'm really not.
So yeah. So I think you and Dylan are.
Do you have any other?
If you decide,
Do you have any other ones?
I really want to get back into diving.
I want to get into diving too. I actually do.
I mean, because
I think a lot of us are just gonna have overlapping answers for this
We're
question.
pretty much the same people.
Yeah.
We are therefore the same hand.
Yeah. even when I wasn't using the full scuba gear and I was still living in Wilmington with you, and we would do free diving for salvage at the inlet. Like that was a lot of fun.
And I would find knives and stuff and wonder why I've never cut myself.
Yeah, we could bring you to the spot where a lot of things get deposited, like a knife with dried blood on it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, why is this here? Why have we not stepped on it? Like, this is safe.
Yeah.
I like literally dived down.
Oh,
like,
and then and then the flounder that wouldn't leave us alone.
yeah, he kept wanting to come back.
That's fine.
I tried to gig him with the knife.
And then the octopi that was stuck in a tide pool,
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Wow.
who almost stole my net.
Shark.
Octopi are incredibly strong. I want you all to know that.
Yeah.
Unimaginably strong.
Yeah, we could do a whole episode on just octopi.
I
really
would
could.
love that.
That would take a lot of research, but if you guys want to help, we could totally do that.
Well, I mean, I used to work with them at the Fort Fisher Aquarium.
Your viewers would be like, what the hell?
I mean, this podcast is a mixed format. It doesn't actually have anything that going for it.
Do you have... Okay, we'll talk about it after. Anyway, go ahead. Do you have any other ones besides...
I think you guys covered them. Oh, actually, I really want to get into
Oh, here we go. I'm calling the damn flight administration.
exactly. I really want to get into
He wants to blow himself up in the air.
non-licensed or unlicensed aviation. So paramotors, paragliding, things like that.
He wants to get into it, but he doesn't have the money for it.
Gyrocopters.
That's licensed.
No, it's not. Gyrocopters is not as long. There are certain classifications. The lesser ones, like the $1,000 to $3,000 kits, are not licensed because they don't get above the flight regulation height.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna have to check that. Yeah.
Future talk.
But yeah, unlicensed. I would actually really like to get a private pilot's license.
That's very expensive, though.
I have a guy that offered me a discount
My uncle actually teaches classes.
in Wilmington.
He has a guy hunter.
Oh, he already has a guy. I have a guy too.
I don't have a guy.
We both have guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I've jumped from airplanes. Does that
I
count?
made a lot of contacts when I was working as a.
I would not do that. I absolutely would not skydive. Okay.
Have you bungee jumped before?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so the difference between bungee jumping and the feeling is different.
I have fallen like lead climbing before and took like a 20-foot fall.
Right, so you know that feeling that you don't like? The reason that happens is because your body goes from nothing to free fall instant, or it builds that up.
And in the moment it like.
But the problem with, or the difference between that and jumping from a plane is you never have time to feel that feeling because you go from the speed to the speed so fast. Like, you're already moving fast in the plane. Your body physically cannot recognize the feeling and fast enough for you to feel it. That's why I can jump from a plane without no problem, but I am terrified of falling from some point that I'm standing.
I am almost always only scared of heights on man-made buildings. If it is something natural like a mountain or something like that.
Rock or something.
Like rock, I feel fine. The rock has been there millions of
No,
years.
yeah, I totally get that. If I'm out bouldering or something at like an actual boulder, I'm cool. Even though it'd be like more dangerous to fall onto like a crash pad or something, because if your spotters aren't good or something, whatever, that's a whole big thing. But Yeah, I'm actually less scared to fall and climb on an actual boulder than I am at the gym. Like if I top out on a wall at the gym and I have to I match my hands on the top hold and then I have to jump back down, I hesitate every time.
I guess on that same note of climbing, I want to get back into parkour or free running. When we were still hanging out with Makai, Dylan, it took me 8 hours to do a backflip off a bench of us just sitting in the park and me just standing with my heels off the edge of the bench, and I just couldn't bring myself. Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to make the flip. It wasn't really 8 hours. It was probably like 2.
It was definitely a significant amount of time, though.
Yeah, it was a fair amount of time of me with my heels just off the back of that bench, and I could not bring myself to do that flip. I eventually did, and I busted my ass, but I got up there and I kept doing. After that first one,
after that first one, you're good. It's like every time I go to the gym to climb, it's that first fall, that first top out, like your warm up climb. You let go, you fall off the wall, and then you're good after that.
Yeah.
Do you just let go on purpose now? Does your body let you?
Yeah, I can get to the top of something and just let go. If I'm on an auto belay, I can't do it because they're terrifying. Because you actually have to, you have to fall a little distance before they kick in and start lowering you slowly.
Yeah,
so you're 20 feet up the fucking wall and you have to, you're going to fall before the thing catches you. And I'm just like, it's gonna fuck up. I'm gonna die.
It's gonna fuck up. This is it. This is where the world ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, you've been listening to Sidewalk Confessionals. Happy listening, and have a nice day.